Well, good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us tonight for another Unplugged live stream. I have with me my co-host Eric from East Texas Homestead and Rodney as well. How you guys doing? What you been up to, Eric?
Like swallowed and went down wrong. I was great till like 3 seconds ago. No, yeah, doing well. Been out moving a bunch of logs around. Was working on some roof mount stuff over at my buddy's house. So excited about that. Finally getting that project rolling again, and just spent some time at the lake. First time this summer. So yeah,
Nice.
all in all, it's been a great week. Yeah.
Cool. Rodney,
I,
what you been up to?
I've been working most of the week. It was supposed to be my week off, but been working overtime. Just I guess the time of the year or whatever. So just working all the time. But I have been playing with the grid boss a little bit and stuff. So I got some of the loads moved over, not all of them yet. It's just taking a lot longer than I thought with you know not enough time off, and then you always need a little part here and there or different piece of a different wire or something like that. But I'm looking at it right now, and it is running. And the smart load port's running, and it's running like my range and my air conditioner and stuff on my house. So it is running some of the stuff. So it's looking
Fantastic.
pretty good so far.
So you got some of the big loads running right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So in another 6 months, we'll get a video, right?
Yeah. Hopefully this weekend. But
Oh, that'd be cool.
I just got to record
Well,
some more.
Get it out,
with
man.
it.
Do it.
Yeah. Unedited. Let's see just a raw video. 4 hours long.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you guys a little warning. This is my first time streaming on Starlink. So hopefully tonight we will have zero problems because speeds are much, much better than what I've been having with my cable provider. And I am also testing out new streaming software, so there might be a few hiccups with that. But let's jump over to the comments. I see you guys have been chatting a lot, even before the stream started. So good evening to Jose. Welcome back after a long success. Oh, Florida Panthers and Stanley Cup playoffs. Ujina. Boy, every time I see this one, I always struggle with it. Ujina Banks, 2000. Mike, Eric P, Chuck, Jim, another Mike. We've got Roy, Off Grid Wannabe, Stephanie, Mike G. Nice to see you again. Grace, Rod Solar World, John 27 Hemi, Retro Z Machine. And the funny thing is, all those names were even before the live stream started, it looks like. So yeah, you guys were busy. Joe Schmidt, Carl, Richard, DC Possum, John, Felix, Betty Powers. So thank you guys for jumping on and joining us tonight. So if you notice the title of the live stream tonight, I thought it might be interesting just to chat a little bit about online versus offline. Should you have your system connected to the internet? There's been a lot of discussions going on in the last, well, I mean, it's been the last year, really. You'd see it really ramping up. And people are looking for different alternatives and options for what can we use so that we don't have it online. And so Eric and Rodney haven't even really had a chance to read through these. I threw a handful of things together on a slide just that we could talk about it. Hopefully they can actually read it tonight. But, should you connect your system to the internet? And so I'm going to see if this actually works. You guys tell me if you actually see this changing, because if I'm talking and clicking things and you guys don't see anything, it's not going to help anybody out. Did it change?
It changed for me.
Okay, good. So I did it right. So again, these are in no particular order, and I want to see if Rodney and Eric have any other things to add to this. But some benefits to having your inverter or your solar system online. You've got real-time monitoring, easier firmware updating process, remote management, troubleshooting and support, because sometimes you've got support requests where it's just easier for your support team to log in and be able to see what's going on. And then remote control and configuration. So Rodney and Eric, can you guys think of anything that I might have missed that would be a benefit of having this system online?
Yeah, I mean, it's wrapped up in real-time remote monitoring, but the way that you said it at first kind of glazed over, and I was thinking just being able to see anything about your system from anywhere in the world, which in essence is just the real-time remote monitoring, but just phrased a little bit different, because remote monitoring may not really encompass all of that. I don't know.
Sure.
But I know that's probably what you meant there. But outside of that, man, I think that's a pretty good list. I'll think about it a little bit more while Rodney talks.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat. I'm having to look on my iPad down here to look at the list. I can't see it up here. But the real-time remote monitoring is pretty much the only reason I have mine connected to the internet. I mean, yeah, all the other stuff is valuable as well. If you call in the Signature Solar or something like that, and you need to get them to fix something on your settings or something like that, or just look at your settings, that is great to have it on the internet for them to just be able to check it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great thing. But for me, just being able to see everything, like if I leave my house and I need my power to be running, if my family's still here, I want to be able to check everything, make sure it's still good to go. Or if they have a problem, I can look at it and say, hey, this is what's going on. And so that's my main reason. But I'll tell you about a problem I had the other day while we're just talking about this online stuff. So I think the EG4 server must have went down for a couple of hours the other day, maybe like a week and a half ago or something like that. And it was real early in the morning. It was probably between like 3 and 5 o'clock in the morning. And so when I got up to go to work, I'm like, I couldn't see any of my information, and my Wi-Fi and everything's working at my house. And I'm like, it must be the servers must be down. And then my car stopped charging. I had it on the smart load on the grid boss. And I'm like, what is going on? Why that should still be working even without the internet? So it looked like that setting got completely erased and the smart port wasn't even on when the server went down. So everything else was working, like the regular backup loads were still working, but not the smart load. So I don't know if
that's is that really dependent on the server?
That's what I was wondering. I don't know. That's a test I'm gonna have to do.
Terrible.
But I thought I would bring that up to people because I'm like, I don't know if that's what really happened, but I'm gonna have to do a specific test and just disconnect the dongle while I have the smart load going and just see what happens.
Or just simply unplug your router and it'll do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Surely
and
not.
So
Surely not.
I hope not, but if that's the case, to me that makes absolutely no sense. It should be able to remember whatever settings you had. So I don't know if that is the case or not, but it's just something weird that happened, and it could be I could have did something else. Who knows? Maybe I did something don't remember. So that's why I said I have to test it. I'm not going to say it's 100% the server's fault, but if it is, that's something that we need to get addressed, and I'm gonna definitely test it out.
Now, are you saying that the setting itself like reverted back to factory defaults?
Yeah,
or
the smart load went to back like I didn't have any smart port enabled or anything. It just was blank.
But
That's
when
weird.
the server came back up, did it restore back to how you wanted it, or did you have to go in and change it?
No, I had to change it.
Okay.
And that it did actually save it initially? Like it wasn't one of those hiccups?
Yeah, because
you
it was
thought
charging.
it saved?
They've been charging your car.
It was charging my car and then went out at 3 o'clock in the morning because the car told me.
That's weird.
And so that's how I knew it was when I got up and it still wasn't working. I got up at 5 o'clock and I'm like, what's up? I can't see any of my information on any of my inverters. And it was all of them. And my internet was working fine. I tested everything. And so I was like, oh, the server must be down. And then like 30 minutes later or something, the stuff started working again. And I looked on the grid boss and my smart port wasn't on. Like I said, it may just be some kind of one-time glitch thing or something. I don't know. But that's something I might have to test out for sure.
Yeah. Let us know what you find out.
And it was only the smart port. Everything else was still working. All my backup loads and everything were still working. It was just that smart load.
Had you previously made any other changes? Like within the last 24 hours or something? And the reason I say that is because there used to be a
Maybe I
bug.
don't know. I've been
Yeah,
moving a
you do
lot of
stuff all the
stuff
time. Yeah,
testing, so yeah.
there used to be a bug where if you would take your EG4 battery setting, or the lithium setting, and then change it to lead acid, and then go back to lithium, it would delete all of your time of use settings, which was super frustrating because I had to do that a few times. But I'm
Mm.
pretty sure in one of the most recent firmware updates, they actually fixed that bug. But there's every once in a while they'll have something weird like that where it just there'll be a
Uh,
something will just revert back to factory defaults. If you change this over here, it messes up that over there, and
yeah.
that's
All I
frustrating.
know is it was charging when I went to bed when I started it, and then in the middle of the night it stopped. It was done charging, but it was using it to do the climate control. And then when it loses power, it just sends out a message saying, "Hey, I lost power from the charger," because it's
Okay.
still plugged in. I mean, it was done charging, but I like to do the preconditioning in the morning for the heat and the air or wherever I want to have it sit, and it just uses power from the solar system instead of the car battery. But anyway, we don't need to keep talking about that. We'll go on to the next thing.
Well, either way, let us know what you find out in your testing, because
Yeah,
it could, like you said, it could have just been a hiccup.
yeah.
Um, so let's see here. Here's the fun part, because I don't remember what my next slide was. Oh, what could go wrong? So this is kind of a surprise for all of us, because I don't remember what the next slide is or how many points there are. So having your system on the internet, this is kind of like the doom and gloom slide. What's the worst things that could happen? And in no particular order, you can expose your system to cloud hacks, security vulnerabilities that are because your inverter is trying to communicate to other things that it shouldn't. It's not secure as it should be. Support staff could make a change to your system without your knowledge. I will not name any names, but I have had this happen before. And it's not fun when your system all of a sudden reboots and your house goes dark and it's like 10:30 at night.
Hmm.
You're brushing your teeth and all of a sudden lights go out.
Because of something that a manufacturer did,
Yeah.
and you're not going to name names. I want to know. I want to buy that. Oh.
I can't name names from when it happened because of what I was testing at the time.
Okay.
But it is a possibility that could happen. This one should be familiar to a lot. You've heard of it. Entire systems could be remotely shut down and disabled. We had a lot of discussion about, was it the however you say that brand? Was that last summer? They ended up shutting down anything in the US. Can't remember. I think it was last summer. And then the biggest one that everybody's always, doesn't like is your data's going someplace that you have no control over.
It won't be the only data.
9 times out of 10, yeah, it's not the only data. It's all going to China.
Look, if you got one of these, I'd hate to say it, but everything about you is known by somebody. How do you think we get free apps, everybody? The only way we get free apps is they sell your information. That's it. That's how they make money. Every one of these app companies, they sell your info, and we agree to it.
So on that note, in general, if my kids want to get on or if they want to download a new app, I'm like, okay, it needs to be from the Apple. And I know Apple. I'm not an Apple fanboy. I used to be, but I know that they have dirty privacy practices for sure, 100%. However, the Apple Arcade, since it is a paid platform, in general, they have better privacy policies on those apps if it's on the arcade, because you're paying them to play the game as opposed to just the free app in the App Store or whatever. So it's kind of a rule for me. I'm like, look, if you want to play a game, it's got to be downloaded from the arcade. nonetheless, so that's the backstory, I guess, sort of. But I want. She's kind of curious. Any of you guys, especially if you've got kids or something, watch Ryan Trahan, and right now he's going through this 50 states in 50 days. And if you guys in the chat, if y'all are watching that, let me know. It's actually a really great family friendly deal to watch. But are you guys familiar?
No.
No? Okay. A young kid, he and his wife, they're like traveling around, staying in Airbnbs. It's a lot of fun. And then they're raising money for St. Jude. It's fantastic. I guess a lot of fun, and they're doing doing it for a good cause. But one of the people that donated was an app manufacturer, and basically they said they gave $100,000 to St. Jude, and then said, everyone who downloads, or for every app we have downloaded, we're going to donate another $1. And so my kids are like, Dad, can we download it? Can we download one of the apps? And I'm just like, you realize that they've already given away $105,000 in 2 days on free app downloads. Like, how are they getting that money to then, give to St. Jude? It's because they're selling your data, right? Like they're selling everything about you that they can find. So anyway, just a little aside there. I think it's great that they're giving that money away to a good cause. But yes, all the free apps on your phone are harvesting data from you. And I think we all know that.
Yeah. I just think it should be people's choice. Like, I'm fine with that's how their business model is because I kind of know that's what it is. But when it comes to our inverters and stuff that you're actually paying for, to me, everything should be confidential. I mean, they shouldn't be selling any of your information to anybody. It shouldn't be routing to other countries and all this other stuff. And I know some equipment is for sure, depending on where you get it from. But, I definitely don't like that.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep. It's my stuff. I don't want anybody messing with it. All right. Let's see. Did I have anything else on this one? Nope. All right. So you want to take your system offline, but that doesn't mean that you can't still utilize your system. So I've got a handful of different system comments in here, so it's not particular to one brand, but Victrons, you can run your entire system and monitor it locally, no internet needed. EG4 has a local connect option for a lot of their newer inverters that allow you to use their app to locally connect. The Midnight inverters that are behind me, those have a local Bluetooth connection that allow you to view the data, monitor your inverter. I mean, obviously, you've got the inverters that have the controls built onto the inverter itself, right? So you can make your changes. You might not be able to see a ton of information, historical information on there, but I think Rodney, the 18K PV, you can see some historical data, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even the 6000 XP, you can see a little bit of at least production for the day from PV, I think. So there are some options there. Solar Assistant. Solar Assistant you can purchase, and it can broadcast its own hotspot. So you can connect to that locally. All your data remains on that local Raspberry Pi and doesn't go anywhere. But you can still see real-time information and historical information. There's always the ability for firmware updates. You download manually and then connect a cable to your inverter to update the firmware. Or if it ain't broke, don't update it. Leave it alone. And then ultimately, you own and control all of your data because you're not online. Do you guys think I missed anything with that?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, looks good. Well done.
But can you have the best of both worlds, where you have an internet connected device, but that's not internet connected, if that makes sense? Some of this might get a little technical. I'm trying to not make it as super technical, but you can have local area network connections only for some inverters. If you go into the weeds, you can, block add firewalls or router paths for additional security. You can unplug the dongle and only plug it in when you need the firmware update or the support. Or even, like we said, the solar assistant option that lets you keep all your data connected locally, but you can still have your remote connection. You can get into guest network isolation for making sure that stuff doesn't get onto your local network. I know a lot of folks go the VPN route. You set up a secure VPN connection to your home. So when you're around the house, you can connect to all your devices and look at all your information, but nobody on the internet can unless you can VPN into your house network. We did the router rules and firewall stuff. And then you guys, I think somebody mentioned this a couple of weeks ago. There was a YouTuber that did a video on, was it the EG4? And he did a packet capture looking to see if the EG4 stuff phoned at any place. Is that who that was?
Yeah, I can't remember who it was though.
But that was just an interesting thing to see that you can take and have it kind of double check, because you look at it and you're like, oh well, it's going to whatever server, but you don't know if it's actually phoning to something else at the same
Now,
time.
the one thing that he didn't really talk about is that's true right now, but that doesn't mean that a call isn't going to be made in the future. Like it doesn't future proof that. It just simply states that as far as we know right now, it's not constantly just sending stuff to China like a lot of these cheap Amazon doorbells or whatever are going to be done.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It would have been interesting to see, if he let the packet capture run for even a week, looking at that time frame. But then again, is it, 8 days and then it phones home or whatever? But get the idea. So, what do you think is right for you? Do you need remote access? Are you comfortable messing with local network stuff? Do you trust your manufacturer's cloud service? Or are manual updates good enough? You kind of have to decide. You have to weigh the pros and the cons, the potential risks, and make sure that that choice fits your needs and your system best. So let me ask Eric and Rodney, do you guys have your stuff online or is yours offline? Do you have, you might not want to get into specific security things if you've got them,
IP address?
but yeah.
Yeah, all my stuff is pretty much online. I mean, it's not saying you shouldn't have an inverter somewhere that may not be online. But I mean, I just like the convenience of being able to look at all my stuff and then not have to worry about it, I guess, just with normal everyday operations and my family and all that kind of stuff. But, it just depends on if I was around my house just all the time, maybe I wouldn't. But since I'm not and I'm out and about and all that, I just like to be able to see it on my phone and easily track everything. Now, if I was, full time here, working for myself, I may take it offline. So, because I'm already here, but
right,
I like to be able to look at it.
Yep.
Yeah, my main system is online, right? And it used to be a bigger deal than it is now. And I will say that while I was building it out the first year, I was obsessed with watching it all the time. But now it's just boring. It's like it just does what it does. And especially after I added the second set of batteries over here, and I don't ever run out of battery capacity. There's nothing to look at. I pulled it up. I couldn't remember how to log into it this morning. I was just like, I'm sitting here at my computer. I'm like, what is the app? Like, what am I supposed to? I'm just like, is it dashboard? No. Finally, I'm like, oh, it's monitor. Okay, monitor.edu. So it's just like, it's been so long since I've looked at it because it just works. And so, I do remember Will Prowse saying at one point, he's just like, look, if you've got to keep checking your system, you didn't build it right. Or it's just a lot of fun. But so there's that. I definitely do have some like offline stuff that is, let's say, squirreled away, just because you never know what's going to happen, and have the ability to do so. So that's that.
So I'm gonna drop a link in the chat. It's actually a link to a poll, and so I want to see what everybody else is doing. Are you fully online with no restrictions? Are you online but you have it restricted somehow? Are you VPN only? Local network only? Completely offline? Or are you not sure? So click that link. Go ahead. Let us kind of see what you folks in the chat. It is. It's actually, I was kind of excited when I found this. So it's kind of interesting to see, except for some of those tiny slivers, you can't tell what it is, and some of the colors kind of blend together. But I know for me, I've got multiple different systems. I do have a VPN configured to tunnel into the house. But some of the systems I do have online with restrictions. So it's kind of interesting just to have a lot of different options.
Mm-hmm.
You see Retro Z Machines comment.
Bank account number. No, social security number, not bank account number.
Oh, man.
I got your bank account number just from you clicking on the link.
Yeah.
I don't have to ask for that. Let's see. So far, we have 6 that are totally offline, 6 that are online but restricted. We've got 1 with VPN and 1 local network only. Oh, see, this is fun.
It's going up quick.
I just want to know if that URL is unique enough for just this single poll. Come on, man.
Oh, I know. Good grief.
poll
I
ID.
saw it. It's ridiculous. So while you guys are clicking on or voting on the poll, let me see if I can switch this behind the screen and make it actually work. I gotta unlock this. Nope, not that one. Too many things to click. So share that. And we will switch back.
Looks like we're up to 10 for totally offline.
So we'll switch over to here real fast.
That's a little surprising to me, I guess, but.
So from Victron's standpoint, it can Bluetooth and see all your different devices. And because I'm remote sharing my screen right now, obviously it's not seeing any of my Victron devices. Refresh. There we go. So we could pull up the data for my servo. If I clicked on that, it's not seeing my 2 charge controllers, but just an example of how you can see offline from the EG4 standpoint, as long as you have an inverter that's newer. So I don't think the old 3000s have this ability, but 6000 XP, 12,000 XP, and all the KPVs, flex bosses, all that kind of stuff.
What are you tracking your midnights on?
Right now, my midnights are on Solar Assistant.
Solar System. Okay.
But from the EG4 standpoint, they have this local connect option down here on the login screen. So you actually have to log out, and then you can locally connect to a Wi-Fi access point that your inverter is broadcasting. For midnights, you can do the... Yeah, see, something doesn't like my me sharing my phone, because it should populate Bluetooth connections here. They're like 2 feet behind me.
So are you sharing it through Bluetooth or sharing it through Wi-Fi?
This is actually using the iPhone mirroring tool on my laptop. So it's actually mirroring my phone display.
But is it going through Bluetooth though?
Probably is, which is why I'm
Yeah.
not seeing anything.
Yeah.
And then the last one is Solar Assistant. And Solar Assistant's one of those ones that you can keep all your data local. So all this stuff is just running off of the Raspberry Pi. And I think the way that Solar Assistant actually does it is they tunnel into your actual Raspberry Pi when you look at it on the website. But this thing will broadcast, I think it'll broadcast a Wi-Fi hotspot, or you can do a Bluetooth connection with no internet needed. So there's a lot of different options for staying offline if you still want to keep your stuff all disconnected. So let's jump back over to, where's my poll? All right, so, wow, 12 totally offline.
Yeah, that's a surprising to me, I guess. I didn't think it would be more than the rest.
7
I
are
imagine there's a
fully
fine line
online.
between the blue and the green. You know, just kind of
Probably.
like, what's but restricted? Like I have a password that isn't password, or you know, like what's...
Yeah, you could get really nitty gritty with these options.
Yeah.
I tried to be as specific and as vague as possible.
Yeah, I think you did a great job. I can just see there's probably a lot of overlap between blue and green.
There's wiggle room,
but
yeah.
I'm way surprised how paranoid he was. 13 out here. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, and I mean, we've got 73 people on the stream right now.
And most of the ones that's really paranoid won't click on the link. I'm just keeping it real.
It's possible, yeah.
So there's probably double that. At least.
It very well could be.
Hey, if you didn't click on the link, but you would be in the yellow, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. There you go. Oh, man.
Yeah, because I'm seeing some comments right now.
I couldn't click that link. Yep.
Mark me as this.
Oh, man, that is funny.
Now, I did see, and I don't know if it would actually work this way, and I'm not going to mess with it now, but they have a hashtag option for this poll. So I wonder if we could actually enter the hashtag in the chat and it would apply to the poll.
Oh, interesting.
So then you don't have to click the link.
That would make it a lot. I think we'd get twice, if not 3 times as many.
Probably would.
Come on. He's not trying to steal your information. Just click it.
But yeah, I mean, so we've got 16, 29, 32 votes out of 77 people online. It's about, just shy of half. I guess, and we're kind of expecting that everybody in the live stream has a system.
Yeah, I was going to say,
has those options. So
can you add right now? Can you add an additional option in there that just says, haven't built my system yet, or no system?
Let's see.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and then
some people say they're driving.
There we go.
Be safe on the road. If it's like it is around here, it's lightning and raining and thundering and everything else.
Hashtag Let's just do this pound #1. Yeah, let's try this because I don't know if it's going to work. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Hmm.
So Rodney, so you probably haven't voted. So go into the
Bam.
chat and just
I just
do
did
a,
it.
and then let's see if it updates.
I just
Because
did
I don't know how
one.
this works.
Did it update?
I wasn't looking to see what the number was before
It was
Rodney did
8.
it.
It was 8. And
Still,
now
now it's
I
9.
still
But did
9.
someone else?
9. But did somebody
Yeah,
else vote? I don't know. Let's see. There's somebody else voted. Let's see if that one goes up. If the blue goes up again, we got another number 1.
So number 5, totally offline. So yeah, I don't know if I don't know if that's how it works or not. Oh, it went up to 15, but
It's
again,
going up.
Yeah. I think that's working.
all right. Well, that's kind of cool. It's a
Yeah.
neat little feature. Plus, it's you don't have to. You guys aren't giving me your social security numbers and
I mean,
bank accounts
EV
anymore. Come on.
Mux probably isn't going to be stealing your
How
information.
can we sell your
but
information if we
Google
don't
definitely
get it?
is.
That's the only way we make money is selling your information, you guys. Come on, click the link.
Shh.
Oh,
So
man.
that's good to see though, because now we can see, we're getting a lot more representation.
Yeah.
Number 7. So we've got 2 with no system so far.
We should have known that our people don't like clicking links. Man.
Yeah, we should have. Especially the topic of the live stream should have said that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to let that sit out there for a little bit because I know that we have people that join later. So maybe just before we finish up at the end of the hour, we'll come back and see how this has changed and increased.
Mhm.
But at the time, let's jump into the chat and see.
Also, real quick, you gotta. I did see. I think Led Zeppelin. You got to put the hashtag or pound before the 6. Otherwise, it's not going to register through the system.
Oh,
Man,
yes.
that number 5 is loading up.
Well, it's number 5. Totally off. It is totally offline.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. Your hunch was correct.
I'm gonna combine number 1 and number 2 because they're just so, like you said, similar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
Because what is considered a
You
restriction, like you said, and what is not? Because I consider mine not to be restricted, even though it is somewhat restricted. I'm not like,
yeah, it's
doing
not like
some
public
kind of crazy stuff.
No IP or no password stuff. It's not that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By the restrictions, I was more talking like maybe you locked down ports or to a specific IP or something like that. A little more technical.
Guest network.
Yeah.
Guest network.
Slightly restricted, but yeah.
Yes. Not quite the VPN level, but so yeah, while this is going through, because the numbers are still jumping up, which is really very interesting to see. So let's switch back over to here and we'll go through the chat. If you didn't see at the bottom earlier, I did put this little ticker across the bottom. If you've got a question, please add a QQQ to the beginning. Just makes it easier to filter and search. And our first question of the night comes from Mike G. Rodney, did you get any flooding?
No, not at my house. I mean, some of the roads and stuff like that in this county have some flooding, but it's nothing like it was in some of the hurricanes we've had. It is still raining right now. So, I mean, some of that stuff could go up. A lot of our rivers are right at flood stage. So people in low-lying areas, they may be getting a little bit, but it's nothing like we've seen in the past for sure. I think up towards like Charlotte and stuff like that is where they had quite a bit of flooding, and I've never really seen flooding up there that I remember. So that was a little weird. And then of course, everybody knows what's going on in Texas. And that's just terrible down there. So
yeah.
Speaking
of Texas, Eric, what do you?
So we live, 5 hours from where all that stuff's going on, but we were camping on that river the night before in an RV,
man.
And so we literally drove home that night. Came home, parked the RV, and then that happened. So I don't think it would have hit our campsite, but it was. I mean, we like I said, we were camping on the river. So it was
And it
wild.
came up
Yeah.
so fast, didn't it?
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
crazy. That's like the day I was talking to my boss. We were at training, and he was on a plane, and the exact plane and the tail number is one that crashed the other day, and he was just on it like a week before that. I was
Wow.
like, that is crazy. Like he was like saw it on TV. He was like, wait a minute, that was the exact plane I was on, the tail number and everything. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just crazy, man.
So let's see here. The name that I can't pronounce. We'll just say 2000.
Yeah.
If you keep your inverter offline, could you still monitor it locally with Solar Assistant? Let's see, Rodney, I know you have Solar Assistant, right? Eric, I think you have a copy. Is it running?
I don't
I
have
haven't
any of
had it
mine
going
running.
since I installed these. I
Okay.
still need to bust it out. So you're the resident expert on Solar Assistant.
Yeah. I know you can do that though. So I mean, you can do
Yeah.
it just a local, like you said before. I haven't done it that way, but I know you can.
I think it depends on the inverter that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Because with the EG4 inverters, there is a way to have a hardwired RS485 connection into the Raspberry Pi for Solar Assistant. I think as soon as you put it on your network, you're gonna make it internet accessible. So Solar Assistant by default uses the Wi-Fi connection of the newer Lux Power EG4 Flex Bosses, 18K PV, 6,000, 12,000. So as soon as you put that on your local network, unless you lock it down, you're making it internet accessible. It can be done to where, yes, you can use a hardwired connection, keep your dongle unplugged, and then you can still monitor it with Solar Assistant. Let's see here.
Hey, you
I
know what's
saw a
cool about this
comment.
software?
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say that I can actually search the comments on this on my end now, as
Oh,
opposed to
cool.
just being the person driving. So that's nice.
I was afraid you guys weren't going to be able to see the comments.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can actually hover over the magnifying glass and see it big.
And you can see the
Nice.
people too, like the icons and
Right.
everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. There's some
Oh, but I was
benefits
gonna
to it.
say that I see a comment from Old Man's Garage before you get into the other questions. It says, I don't know who he was talking to, but it says, but if your dongle on the 18K is plugged in, anyone with the app can access if they are close enough to connect. So
Correct.
I'm not sure. I thought when you got it connected to Wi-Fi, that went off. The
It does
local
not.
connect. It does not. Okay.
It
I couldn't remember
continues
for
to
sure. It's been so long.
broadcast.
Okay, that doesn't make sense.
They have I think it's because in the event that you have some internet connection issue,
Yeah.
well, how soon is it supposed to know, oh, I haven't been able to phone home to the monitoring site for so much time. Now I need to turn on the local broadcast.
Yeah.
There are ways, depending on, I don't know if EG4 has made it, I think they have a white paper on it, but you can secure your connection for your
Yeah.
wireless dongle.
I think I remember
Add a
seeing something like
password
that.
to that because right now it's open. So yes, as I don't know who you said it was, Rodney, that had the comment.
Now I gotta find it again. I was doing something else. Let me see, who was it? I lost it now. Oh, Old Man's Garage.
Old Man's Garage. Okay, so yes, if you had that connected, if you had the dongle connected to the inverter, then yes, somebody could just walk by, hit the local connect on the app and then connect into your inverter.
Just
I guess
another
that-
reason to live out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, physical security comes into play at that point. So, you know, I guess you know,
Physical projectile security.
Yeah.
Big dogs.
Big dogs, yeah. So let's see here. DC Possum, in the world of subscription-based services, which Eric and I live in the web world a lot, and we see this over and over and over. Do you guys think that we're going to end up seeing monthly fee requirements for remote monitoring in the future?
Man, I hope not. I mean, like maybe if it's something like Solar Assistant, something comes along that's not open source but does a pretty good job. But man, if you buy an inverter and then they charge you to access it,
you shouldn't buy it if that's what the case is before you buy it. That's all I'm saying. That should be included to me. I'm not saying it won't change or whatever at some point, but that just seems crazy.
What I could see is having a monitoring service that's free if you buy the hardware, but then maybe some kind of a plan if you want to have faster remote response time, I guess, refresh time. So let's say you're in right now, EG4, whatever, 5-minute refresh, 3-minute refresh, whatever it is, I don't remember. If they got it down to like 10 seconds, and you could be remote, but otherwise,
but
the normal refresh, I could see that.
I can see them, not them. I could see someone trying to play that game. And it's just like, look, like you're telling me that the server is fully capable of telling me in 10 seconds, but you're going to charge me to do it. Now, I guess if you bundle like, offsite backups, because maybe if something gets like your settings become very complicated and there's some like subscription service to where, look, we're going to keep it all offsite. We're going to give you, premium access. And if your server, dies, or if you're not your server, if your inverter dies, the next morning we're going to ship you one pre-configured, or something like that. Like, I don't know, but
there's something.
Shy of that, I can't see just to access your information from what's going on in your property. I'd revolt.
Yeah. And I was just looking at a white paper for the dongle, and it looks like you can lock it down and put like a passcode on it. So,
you want to drop that in the comments?
Yeah, I haven't read through the whole thing. I'm pretty sure that's for the local stuff. So I'll go ahead and put the link in there so y'all can go and check that out. But looks like they do have security for that now.
Okay.
If you just scroll down and go to like number 7, I think it says enabling dongle network security, and that should enable encryption mode. Just read through it.
So Retro Z Machine says that sniffing modern things, so packet sniffing, not just sniffing.
Like Joe Biden sniffing.
Yeah, can be an eye opener. We all know Windows does all sorts. Windows is so bloated, it's not even funny. But you should see here you go. Rodney says you should see the traces from a Tesla car.
Yeah, and you can turn that on and off as well.
YouTube clips about it. That would be very interesting to see all the information that would have to flow for that.
Yeah, they do give you access to tell if you want to give out the information or keep it in there. I'm not saying they listen to everything you tell them, but at least they enable ways for you to turn some of that stuff off if you want to. So I don't share any of my data with the stuff that makes the stuff better and all that. I'm not saying they can't still take it. I mean, you're connected to the internet. I mean, they can do whatever they want. You're not going to know in the background, but they do give you access to turn it off.
Yeah, access.
It
just makes you feel good.
It's on a premium plan.
Makes you feel good. Yeah.
Click.
But it's like anything now. Almost every single car, even the ones that's not really tech savvy, if it's fairly new, there's all kinds of stuff they can track on them without you knowing.
Man, I know. Like we've got a 2018 Expedition, and I'm just like, I need to find where the SIM card is in that thing and yank it out. Like, I don't know. I don't need it. I don't want it. There's no reason for it to be tracking me and sending it back to the mothership all day
Yeah.
long.
Let's see here. I do like the little animations that show up on
Yeah,
these
it's
comments
slick.
here. Jim says EG4 uses a cloud service from Amazon. It does not call home to China, and that's correct. Even in that
Correct.
video that you and I talked about earlier, Eric,
Mhm.
I think that they pointed out that it was some
It's AWS.
EC2 from California, maybe.
I don't remember all of it, but I remember he seemed to be pretty confident that it was Signature Solar's not personal, but as personal as it can be for a corporation. It was their instance of AWS or whatever. So
yeah, and I've run the same tests even on my 6000 XP, just looking to see, where does it call back to, and it was that same IP from the video, and it's going back to an Amazon server from like California or someplace out west.
And it looks like we got about 80 people on the stream. So as always, we like to thank y'all for being here with us.
That's right.
Trying to learn a little something. I mean, I'm learning tonight, so I mean, hey, this is pretty good. I got 2 computer guys here, so hey, I'm good to go.
Before we get to John's thing, I'm going to throw this one up here. If you've got looking for more information, even on our live stream, if you're looking to make purchases, we've got affiliate links on our website, unplugged.solar. You guys can show your support and appreciation by just clicking those links. It doesn't cost you anything. It just kind of says thank you to whoever's affiliate link that you're using.
Absolutely. We've seen a couple of people in here already tonight saying, yeah, I just bought a 6000 XP and, use y'all's links or use Rodney's link. I think Chuck was saying that he bought something. What was it? Some more. Oh, there it goes. The Aptos 415 solar panels. Use for that. I mean, guys, we really do appreciate it. It makes a big difference. Just a reminder, though, it doesn't have to be Signature Solar. It could be Amazon. It could be Lowe's. It could be Current Connected. All sort. You're buying some Nest Box from Gear, whatever it is. I mean, we've got stuff from all over the place. Sometimes you get a discount. Sometimes you don't. You just help us out, and we really appreciate it. So thank you guys for taking that extra 15 seconds to click those links.
Yep. Definitely appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And smash that like button.
Bam.
74 currently in the live stream right now. Again, thanks for joining us. John's got a question asking if there's a way to extend the Bluetooth range. Any ideas?
No, that's built into the radio itself, or the amount of power going to it. None that I'm aware of. But remove obstacles.
Yes.
That's the only option. Remove obstacles.
Keep it away from any extra outside, like power lines or something like that. Try not to run your power lines by your Bluetooth transmitter, that kind of stuff. Some inverters have them inside the metal box, which intentionally makes the range smaller.
Bring back up the poll for a minute, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's see it.
You want to do it now?
Well, I just want to see it because some people are saying Lithium Solar went on there and said that's a big no to his being connected to the internet. So I just want to see.
There's our
bring
current,
up the poll and let everybody go ahead and you can hit pound and whatever your answer is, and it'll go ahead and update it in the poll.
Yep, you don't have to click the link anymore. You see on screen
Adam's link for him to steal all your information.
So let's see here. Man. Fully online with no restrictions. We've got 16 online, but restricted are 10. And again, we talked earlier, those two could kind of be blurred together. VPN access still only 2. 6 local network onlys, 20 totally offline, and I don't think we have any number 6s for not sure, and 4 have no system. And even I just saw it refresh a second ago, so we're constantly getting more folks
Yeah.
adding more to that, and that's really very interesting to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a
Hey, real
VPN,
quick.
but I don't think I have everything on it. I'd have to go back and check all my stuff. I got so much junk.
Retro Z Machine says that you can get Bluetooth repeaters, which I've never seen or heard of. But
Me either.
there you
I've
go.
heard of them, but I didn't think that they actually worked. I mean, even so, what was it? I did a video. I honestly don't even remember when it was. Maybe it was last year on reading the data from my outside 500-gallon propane tank on my Victron system.
I remember that video.
And so it's trying to use a Bluetooth connection from the propane tank, which is outside of the building, 100 plus some feet way far away. But the Victron system has the ability to add an external USB Bluetooth dongle. So over my head, I have like 20 feet of a Bluetooth or of a USB extender cable running over to as close to straight direction. And then a little
it's the
USB.
Bluetooth receiver.
Yeah.
You can just move that around. Interesting.
The receiver, yeah.
Or the Bluetooth receiver. Yeah.
And didn't you add your wood boiler to that or something too?
Yep, my wood boiler. That was neat being able to add that, and
yeah, I remember that.
'cause then I could set up alerts. So hey, dummy, your boiler's getting cold.
Put your boots on.
Yeah, get outside. Oh, let's see here. So let's jump back to. I want to jump back to this poll one last time just before we sign off. But I want to see.
And by the way, we're just about there. Man,
I know we are.
Minutes
Looks
away.
like we got 80-some people on the stream.
I'm
Just keeps
looking
going up.
through some of these comments and seeing if there's anything that I know we can answer real fast. Yeah, Bluetooth repeaters. Well, let's just. This might be the last question, and I don't actually know the answer to this one. Can you use aluminum wire instead of copper wire for solar? Copper is scheduled to have a 50% tariff starting August 1st. Is that the PV lines? Is that the question?
Talking about the PV wire?
Yeah, just
I've only ever seen copper myself. But.
Yeah, I've never seen aluminum that has that thick of a jacket on it, the insulator. But assuming it was sized properly, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. It's just I don't know that they make it. Now, the one thing is, are your MC4 connectors like are they rated? For aluminum, or do they have to be copper just due to
something?
Yeah.
But Lithium Solar says aluminum is valid conductor. You have to size it correctly.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
I've just never seen it.
If you're talking, running your PV line underground, from your solar shed out to your array and using aluminum instead, as long as it's sized properly and your terminators are rated for it, you'll probably have to convert it over to copper at the array. But I'm no electrician.
I mean, I'm seeing it online. You can buy it.
All right.
Yeah. I just
all right.
Never considered it.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it from like the building run. If you're running to a barn and you're running AC power out to the barn from a sub panel, it's cheaper to run aluminum. than it is copper.
You
Isn't
know
that what
what?
you did, Eric? Did you? Because
That
you've got
no,
multiple runs.
absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah. Almost, yeah, all of my direct burial cable, and I've got 1,500 feet of it. Probably it's all aluminum. But I was just going to say that photovoltaicable.com is where I've purchased from, and they actually have aluminum PV wire, like main navigation menu item. So I guess I just always breezed right past it. So I'll put that down there. It's actually a great place, good pricing, no affiliation, but check them out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to jump back over here to the poll real fast. I do want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. It's hard to believe that we're already through an hour of this. I see 81. I think I saw 82, 83 on the live stream tonight. You know, we do this each week, but we're just a handful of DIY folks that are just trying to share experiences, build a community. We all have a desire to unplug our homes, and we're just trying to share the little bit that we know and even learn from you guys in the chat, because we're still doing that too. Rodney, Eric, I want to thank you guys for joining me as co-host tonight. It's always fun. I will be perfectly honest. When Rodney came up to me and emailed me at the end of last year and said, "Do you want to do a live stream on DIY solar?" I dreaded this. I'm like, I don't want to do this at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, are we at 9 months since we started doing live streams of some form or fashion?
I don't even know now. It's been a while.
It's fun. I don't.
Yeah.
I look forward to hanging out with you guys and the folks on the chat.
Yeah.
It
And
really is
learning.
fun and learning.
I mean, we learn from it. Like, look at the guys answering about the aluminum. I mean, we learn something every single week from you guys here in the chat. I mean, because you've done stuff that we haven't done. We may have done something that you haven't done. It's just a community effort to learn and be more self-reliant. And that's definitely one thing I like about this. And of course, we just have fun talking about stuff we like. I mean, our hobbies, you know.
Yep.
Either that's some prepping stuff, self-reliance, solar, you know. Hey, I'm doing all that. If you're not doing that kind of stuff, I don't know what's wrong with you. You know, you got to be able to take care of yourself with everything crazy that goes on in the world. I mean, just look at all these storms and everything that's going on. Hey, you just got to be able to take care of you and your family, and solar is one way to do it. And I definitely enjoy doing this.
Guys, we are on episode 32 of
Oh my goodness.
Unplugged Live. 32.
Yeah. 32 weeks.
I had no idea.
No.
That's crazy. And most of you guys have been here this whole time. Stinking awesome.
Yep. Yeah.
Bunch of crazy people hanging out with us every week.
We might have some changes coming up to the formatting. Are we talking about that? Are we teasing things at all?
Why not? Tease them.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, that was it. We might have some formatting changes coming up.
I thought it was going to give them more information.
So did I.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we could. What information y'all want to give? That was the extent of what I've got.
Let's just leave it there.
Well, let's leave it there.
Let's dangle that right in front of
But
us.
it's good stuff, right?
You have to come back next time for the rest.
If it's ready.
Yes. Oh, Donald, man, welcome. Super late, but I'm glad you're here. Just for the end of it.
So yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. Rodney, why don't you go ahead and wrap up, hand it over to Eric, and then I'll close out.
And of course, I'd like to thank Adam for hosting and pushing all the buttons, because he was trying new software tonight, and I think it went pretty good. I actually kind of like it.
Too.
So, you know, I mean, we're going to talk about this, but I enjoy all the comments. I missed some of them, so I'm going to have to go back and watch the stream and see everything I missed. But I definitely enjoy the comments and the questions and the answers and learning. I mean, that's what this is all about. I'm still learning. You guys are still learning. Hopefully, I'll be able to get out some videos soon. And I guess we'll see you guys next time. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing before I see my way out here, I am curious, and man, I kind of maybe we'll have to do a poll next week to say when you said you're totally offline, is that by choice or is that because your inverter doesn't have online capabilities? Because
Yeah.
it's possible that you just have, an inverter that just doesn't, it's like a DIY setup completely with no options. So I would like to see that out there. But anyway, yeah, Adam, thanks for hosting and putting it all together. And man, just there's a lot of work went into it. You guys have no idea how much work goes into setting up a show like this and getting your slides set up and all that, and just being prepared. And like doing things like sending out the email before the show starts. All the things that are supposed to happen. That I definitely did not do. Sorry about that if you missed the notification because maybe you just missed it. But yeah, man, I've got a bunch of stuff coming up. Doing some first. I've got like all of a sudden I'm doing solar stuff. Believe it or not.
Hmm.
Tomorrow I've got a pallet showing up with solar panels on it and some ground mount stuff. I teased this last week. I'm actually doing. I've got my plans right here. I've got my blueprints drawn up for that's my base for my ground mount that I've put together. It's all going to be timber framed. I was picking out my timbers and my trees. I'm going to be milling all that stuff up. So I'm excited about that. Just get out there and get some real work done. But it's hot. And then also I was on my buddy Mitch's roof this week working on his stuff, trying to get this Iron Ridge rack put together, which is super premium. Man, I love that stuff. Man, got so much coming up. But
And
a lot
where'd
of
you get
fun.
that from?
Got that from Signature Solar. So
Oh, so they do have that.
yeah, they do.
Looks like somebody just
so
got some solar up and running a week ago. Scott's Copters. Hey, congratulations. Solar's just been up
yeah,
and running
nice.
about a week.
Nice.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Fantastic. No, that's great. Love the wins. Man, we need to do just like a hashtag win or something like that.
Yeah.
Just like
We
just
need
get
to
everybody
ask every show at the beginning who got their solar up and running this week. That's a good
yeah.
one.
What are your solar
good
wins?
one.
What are your it's upgrade, hashtag upgrade, whatever it is. Love it. But anyway, that's it for me. I'm Eric from East Texas Homestead. If you're not familiar with my channel, encouraging people to live faithfully and prepare thoroughly for good times or bad. Adam, that's it.
Well, we're 8 minutes past, but it's all right. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. It's always a blast. It's always fun. It's almost more fun not driving because then you can see all the comments that come in instead of only seeing the questions that come in. Because I have to go back through, rewatch the live stream just so that I can see all of the comments and the back and forth that you guys had while everything else was going on. So, as was mentioned earlier, if you're looking for more information, affiliate links, we do have those on our website, unplugged.solar. If you want to share your system with those on the live stream, I did set up live at unplugged.solar. So you can email that, send in some pictures, slideshow, a little video clip, whatever you want about your installation, and maybe you'll be showcased on an upcoming episode. Lots going on, lots coming up. Lots of little things that Eric teased about that hopefully we'll get those taken care of here shortly. And with that, again, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all stay safe, stay cool, and we'll catch up with you later.